I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here, welcome back to a brand new video. And now that EA have revealed all of the brand new icons for FIFA 21, it's time to speculate about their rating, and we may as well start off with the one that we found out about first, and that is, of course, Eric Cantona. Now, I'm looking at stats here, and he played a total of 368 games for his clubs, and he scored 131 goals, 45 times for the national team, and 20 goals, which is a decent return. They're not many games for France, but different era, meaning that they may have played less. I feel like they play a lot more internationally now than they used to. But either way, that's by the by. Most of his games came for Manchester United. I believe that's when his sort of moments card will be from. 92 rated, I think, is pretty justified. I wouldn't surprise me a little bit if EA went 91. But I think 92 is fair. I think everybody knows who Eric Cantona is. He is literally a definition of the word icon. So it'd be good to see him get a 92 for the top end. Up next, we have Bastian Schweinsteiger, 91 rated. Now, it's going to be difficult for me to give these accurate ratings because I would have needed to have watched every single game Schweinsteiger played to know the ins and outs. I'm sure EA will do, well, I would hope that they would do extensive research. He played a total of 479 games for club, 121 times for the national side, 56 goals in there as well, which is not too bad for a more defence-minded midfielder. Most of those games came when he was at Bayern Munich, 342 games for Bayern Munich, 45 goals there, which is, that is a massive chunk. Between 2002 and 2015, was a very good player, world-renowned, of course, played for Man United in that time as well. 91 rated, is that justified? What do you think? Moving on to Petr Cech, playing for Chelsea and Arsenal more than anybody else, of course. He did have 70 games for Rennes, and he played for two other sides in the Czech Republic as well. 567 games in total, and 124 games for the national side. That is one hell of a career. Fair play. He's done very, very well for himself. Of course, he was probably one of the best, if not the best goalkeeper in the world at one point. It was probably during that Chelsea spell between 2004 and 2015, deserving of that 92 rated card. Does he deserve higher though? Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans, let me know in the comments. Next up, we have Fernando Torres. Is 92 rated justified? This would be for his sort of best performance or best performing season as they do the icons. I think the Liverpool period in his career could arguably be the best one. I say arguably, it has to be, right? 102 games, 65 goals. That is a very impressive record for anyone in the Premier League. And just when he played for Liverpool, he was the one to watch. Every time he got the ball, no matter where he was on the pitch, you were thinking, right, this is going to end up in a goal. And he could be in his own half. Just crazy stuff. Really looking forward to picking a version of Fernando Torres up. I'm hoping every single version has pace. But I am a little bit concerned about the sort of the base and potentially the mid version of this icon card, because there were stints in his career, such as Chelsea and latter stages of maybe the Japanese league, where he wasn't particularly great, and I feel like EA may take inspiration from those times. Philipp Lahm up next, arguably one of the best right-backs to ever play the game. Of course, that title is perhaps under contention these days because there are more and more great players coming through. However, I feel like Philipp Lahm is just one of those generational talents that you only ever see, like I said, just once a generation. It's so rare that you see a player, A, this loyal, and B, this consistent. 332 games for Bayern Munich. He went out on loan for 2 seasons in the middle of his career to Stuttgart, 53 games for them, 2 goals, 448 games in total, the majority of which were for Bayern Munich. Of course, he played 113 times for the national side as well. What a player Philipp Lahm was, deserving of a 93. I'd arguably give him higher, but I think 93 is justified. Samueletto up next, and my days did this guy move around. He played for some unreal clubs. Toward the latter stages of his career, probably least said the better, but definitely toward the middle part, he played for some unreal clubs. So, we're talking, Real Madrid is where he started his career. He only played 3 times in 3 seasons, which was crazy. Went on loan to Leganes, Espanyol and Mallorca. Didn't do particularly well for any of them. permanently moved to Mallorca, scored 48 times in 120 games. Then he got his move to Barcelona, 108 goals in 144 games. That is clinical. Then he moved to Inter Milan. Then he went to Russia, which was a really controversial decision. Then Chelsea, then Everton, then Sampdoria, then Antalyaspor, then Konyaspor, and then finished his career at Qatar. Played 118 times for the Cameroon national side, scoring 56 goals. He's been around, but he's done it. Everywhere he's been, he's scored goals. The guy is a machine. Up next is Ashley Cole, 90 rated. I feel like that is justified. I'm sure Chelsea fans, maybe even Arsenal fans, will disagree with me. But if you compare him to other icons, I feel like that is in and around where he'll be. 91 at the most. If they give him any higher than that, then they've been on acid or something. 90 rated Ashley Cole, though. 508 career games, 107 appearances for the national side. 19 goals in his career, 8 for Arsenal, 7 for Chelsea. Scored 3 times for LA Galaxy as well. Finished his career at Derby County with 9 games, and that was just last year. And now in FIFA. Is 90 rated justified? Ashley Cole fans, let me know. Davor Suker up next, and of course this guy was in FIFA before. He was in FIFA 14, 15, 16 and I believe 17 where he was removed. Then of course they started bringing out the whole, base, mid, prime system. He was an 88 rated icon back in those FIFAs before we had the whole generational thing. And I don't think EA will go too far beyond that. I think maybe the 88 will be the prime, maybe the 89. And then, of course, they'll give him a 90 for the moments. 448 games, 203 goals for club. Check this out for the country, though. 69 games, 45 goals. And that's for Croatia. And, of course, they had a decent side back in the 90s. They had Pavel Nedved and a few others that will spring to mind. But that is still an unbelievably good return. His shooting will be fantastic. I just fear for the rest of his stats. But I am looking forward to him being back in FIFA. Nemanja Vidic up next. And Man United fans will be very happy to see this guy in FIFA. I went with a 92 rated card. I mean, I can see him getting a 93. But anything beyond that I feel like would be a little bit too far. Because Maldini is a 95, right? So you can't... Maldini is one of the best at all times. He is probably up in the top 3 defenders of all time. Maybe even higher than that. Is Vidic in the top 3 of all time? Probably not. So I think getting it quite close, but not really, touching, if that makes sense. 92, 93, somewhere around there. 367 games in total. 211 of those coming for Manchester United. He had good stints at Spartak Moscow, of course, Inter Milan toward the back end of his career with 23 appearances. Big player. I'm hoping EA don't do him dirty with pace. He needs to have a little bit more pace than I think EA will give him. I'd love to see 80, but I am reserving judgment. Up next is a player that the majority of us at least, have wanted in FIFA for many, many years, and that is Puskas. Now, this is one that I think you're going to have to take with a pinch of salt, really, because it's one of those record-keeping scenarios where... you look at the likes of Pele and you look at Maradona and you look at their records and you're thinking, wow, we'll never see players like that anymore. That's why they're held in such high regard. But record keeping back then is absolutely nowhere near where it is now because of the digital age. Back then it was all pen and paper stuff, right? So, check this out. 350 games for Budapest, 358 goals, 180 games for Real Madrid, and 156 goals. The guy nearly scored as many goals as he did play games in his career, which is absolutely mental. Like I said, pinch of salt because of record keeping, but in general, this is going to be one of the highest rated cards in the game, hands down. And finally, to end things off, Javi. I'd love to see him up there in sort of the 95, 96, maybe even a 97. I'm not sure if that would be justified. 95, in my opinion, is where he should be, in and around that amount. When you think of, and I've mentioned it before in this video, Maldini, I would put Javi, I know they play in different positions, but I would put Javi on the same level as Maldini. And he's 95, so why not Javi be 95 as well? 642 games, a whopping 505 for the Barcelona first team. He played 55 times for Barcelona B, and then he moved to Al Sadd, which was a bit of a weird one. He played 82 times there, scoring 21 goals, which isn't a bad return. It was a bit of a strange one, I won't lie to you, that move. Was it a cash grab? Not really sure what the whole situation was. Maybe he's explained it, I'm not sure. But either way, he is currently the Al Sadd manager. So, yeah. But anyway, with that being said, that will do it for the roundup of the icons. Let me know. Do you think I've got any of them right? Do you think I've got any of them wrong? I'm sure fans of the clubs that I've mentioned here will probably disagree with the majority of what I've said, but that's okay. You can let me know in the comments. If you have enjoyed this video and you want to see me do more prediction type stuff, then all you have to do is hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.